Deep breaths, everybody. We're talking about Series 3. How comfortable are we talking about Series 3? Because to me, this has got some really heavy stuff in it. How are we feeling? How are we doing?
Feeling all right.
Great.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to talk about some heavy stuff. I feel like we've talked about a lot of like soft, kissy stuff for a while. It's ready.
Yeah.
It's like we're ready to like.
Yeah.
Get
There's
serious.
only so many years you can talk about opening a door and smiling.
Do you guys kiss? I hadn't.
We just
Just a
a
little
couple
bit.
little pecks.
We actually
Yeah.
kissed so much this season that I got like a really bad like. It was like a spot that turned into it was horrible.
It got to a point where we
I'm
had
pretty
to
sure
we
they've
had to shave
VFX
twice a day.
some of it out because I can't notice it as much as when we were filming it. It was like this massive.
It was a volcano on
It
his
was
chin.
horrible.
Yeah, it was.
And then
I
we
had
had
to
to do more
kiss that.
kissing,
I had
and then
to
it would
kiss
get
it.
worse and worse.
Yeah, because we both obviously had a bit of stubble, and it would just
I love how I attempted to go, right, let's actually dig into it.
get
Yeah.
into the
And we
serious
just can't
stuff.
help being a bit silly.
Yeah.
And I also just want to shout out the way you wiggled your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
It really pleased me.
Thank
Nice.
you.
This is a bit tough. You've said previously that Heartstopper tackles real-world issues with an optimistic lens, and it's tough stuff with a rose-tinted pair of spectacles.
It's called bisexuality, if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I wasn't born in the 18th century.
Did you have like specialists come in? Like, how was it for the pair of you?
I mean, obviously you had a you know a slightly more specific.
Mhm.
The way I kind of treated it was obviously Nick's kind of role in this season for the most part is as a support system and as a kind of like, you know, as a loved one who's concerned for the person that he really deeply cares about.
We didn't need to talk about that. Everything's fine now.
Is everything fine?
One of the great things is Alice's writing for those episodes is so done with so much care and love and authenticity. And I think from even season 1, we have always talked about Charlie's eating disorder and how that would progress. And it's always been like that. If you look back, it's always peppered in there some places, like whenever he's stressed, he doesn't eat, or you can notice on his plate there's... In the dinner party scene in season 2, he doesn't eat any. It's like it's always been there, so it's always, I feel like, been a part of the character that I've tried to always embody. Yeah, I think when you're doing those things, it's just about being truthful and honest and trying to do the best you can. You can't ever do everything right or please everyone, so that as long as you please yourself, and that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, I understand that. And I think for me, I also love that OCD is part of it. I think often it's sort of overlooked and how things get tied in together.
Yeah.
I feel like this show keeps helping people understand tough stuff in their lives. It's sort of a bit like an education show.
That is kind of the real strength of it, is the fact that it tries to make these things that feel quite confusing and quite hard to understand, both from an inside and an outside perspective. And it kind of tries to just go, firstly, it's okay to not understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's normal. But then it also goes, you know, let's try and take it step by step and see what we can learn. So, yeah, I think it's... I feel like that's a very fair thing to say about the show.
I want to talk about something a little lighter, which is the soundtrack. Because, honestly, if you press play on it, the whole list, that's pretty much a whole day sorted. It's amazing. So here you go. What are the tracks where
I
you
know
go...
exactly what you're going to play.
What's jumping out? Tell me.
It's not underrated at all, but I think one of the most like moving moments in the entire show is "You're So Pretty" by Where's Your Project.
You're so pretty when you smile, it kills me. Can't stop thinking about the way you kissed me under stars.
I think that's my favourite song that's been in the show. I think also because it's Will's song, but
It's
also
Will.
it's just a really wonderful song and fits that part of the show so perfect.
This season there's a really beautiful Tom Odell song, which plays in episode 4.
I want a better body, I want better skin, I wanna be perfect like all your other friends.
It's a beautiful song, and it's such a gut-wrenching moment in the season, and I think that it's just, yeah, every time that plays, I think that's a really, very moving.
Great tips. I want to know, though, having seen the blooper reel for the second series, with this being that little bit tougher, I hope there were many more opportunities just to break, to laugh, to goof around, because that bit in the second series where you weren't expecting the bubble machine.
And cue the bubble machine.
What? I wasn't told about a bubble machine.
You ever cringe so much in your life?
Okay.
Just enjoy it, Joe.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being this close to you.
Full cheese. On a scale of 1 to cheese, you are cheese.
I'm so glad you noticed that, because I feel like a lot of people saw that blooper reel, and I think the bubbles start coming in. They're like, all right, cue the bubble machine, and I just go, what? And no, I don't think anyone quite got that, like, but I think that's like prime humour.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I every time I watch it, I laugh at myself, which is slightly pathetic. But I think, yeah, this season will be. There was the Christmas episode when we were sat on the counter. It's so
Please, can you
bad.
tell the story?
Because we were improvising. It's just like, because we knew that they weren't going to include the
They were like, oh, there'll be music over it.
there'll be
like,
music over it. So we were saying the most filthy
dildo
stuff.
joke.
Dildo jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ADR
it was
over all of
so
it.
bad. And then they actually included a shot where
If you read our lips.
where I say the word dildo, but they're not gonna. You're not gonna keep this. But yeah, and I had to ADR over that word, and
Beautiful.
was great.
it was because that laugh is the most pure laugh we've ever had in Heartstopper. It's so we were genuinely dying with
Yeah.
laughter.
You
on
guys
that day.
do have to do a lot of sort of background improv. Like, I notice it, and it is not easy.
Not easy.
You're on
It's
a big,
not.
long table in Paris,
Yeah.
and you've just got to be like, yeah, not drop your fork, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
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 That's the hardest bit. I find that
So
really
cringe.
hard. Cringe.
But
Yeah,
it's
it can
good
be
now
quite
that we
cringe.
know each other, because we can really, like, we have enough inside jokes that if I want to make someone in the cast laugh,
Great.
I have something in my back catalogue
Yeah.
to be able to do it. Like, Will's hard, because Will's always Will will make you laugh in a second,
Cruel.
but he's hard to make laugh unless he's really willing to, if he's really in a
one of
laughy
those.
mood. But yeah.
Do you have very memorable director's notes on this show? Do you get like, oh wow, okay, only here, when a camera's like right in your face, and they say, yeah, do it again, but like better?
I mean, there's the iconic one, season 2, with in Paris with Imogen, and our director Eros in season 2. He basically said something like, "Okay, we're gonna do it again." Now, I think was it to Imogen or was it to Ben, where he goes like, "You're like, nobody loves you, like you don't have any friends." Nobody loves you. No one has ever really loved you, and then action, and it's
Great.
not normally like that on Heartstopper,
No.
obviously. So that was, I think we were all a bit like, oh my, like,
It's Heartbreaker
should we call?
right now.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which we do get quite a lot.
We do.
I love being stopped in the street and go, oh my god, I love heart wreckers. Like that stuff is amazing.
Heartthrobbers.
Yeah, heartthrobbers.
Oh,
That's
you
a good
really, my heart throbbed
yeah,
like so much.
yeah, it's brilliant.
You've got to get people calling you by your character names though, surely.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I just answer to the.
But you get lines, of course, that have sort of grown out of the show, that have become bigger than the show.
Mm.
Like gay panic, obviously, is its own phrase, but like that's become its own thing. And the ally bit.
Yeah.
Do you get people just shouting the lines at you?
It's not so much lines for me, but it's I will literally, like, unironically, I was walking through St Pancras and I saw someone wearing my outfit in episode 8 of season 1 on the beach, wearing
Really
this
flattering
really
orange t-shirt.
orange t-shirt, which I hated.
You mean those ones with the sort of
And
long jean shorts?
Yeah, and it's for some reason really caught on as a look.
Uh-huh.
And I remember putting it on and going, I said, Adam, our costume designer, I love you. You put me in some great stuff, but this, and they loved it. Everyone on the team loved it, and I didn't get it. But I will literally be walking down, and I'll see someone in that outfit, and this person had dyed their hair ginger. They had dyed their hair ginger. It wasn't a special event. They were just walking through St Pancras with the full outfit, and I was like, that's really crazy that this has
Like
happened.
Regina George, babe.
I wouldn't say that, but then I turned around. I went the other way because I thought I just don't know how I
Yeah.
would be able to handle this situation.
I Now they know.
Also, could be brilliant. They might have just been dressing
they might
normally.
not.
They might not have even seen the show.
Might have nothing to do with you.
Maybe I'm just obsessed with the show.
All right, let's just double back on that director's note thing, because you did that clever thing where you were saying it about somebody else. What about you guys? What about your notes?
We used to get our banter with each other is quite mean to each other, and we used to get the note of this is more Joe and Kit than Nick and Charlie.
You're so right, because their flirting, it's not based in that.
It's
No.
not based in that at
Whereas
all. Yeah.
This is.
We
It's
kind
very-
of started to learn how to do that a little bit more, but yeah.
I was worrying about the most surprisingly nerve-wracking scenes to shoot, because there are some big scenes that you've done over the years. What are the ones where actually, you know what, that one sort of worried me a little bit before you ended up shooting it?
I mean, I hated all the rugby stuff. I think it was more like I never felt comfortable in that environment, that like very male. So I was always dreading those scenes. Not because all the rugby guys were great. I don't know. It's just brought back flashbacks to school. And
I know I was joking about being weak, but I'm definitely too weak for this.
And full tackle, you've got to actually get in there,
Yeah.
laying him out.
You'll notice as the seasons go on, as my opinion gets more loud, Charlie does less rugby.
Your presence is felt.
Safe to say,
So
I
this
got,
season I just stand at the side.
spent
That's
a
all
lot
I
of
do.
time with his stunt double.
Did
Spent
you?
A lot of time with his stunt double.
Does he have a really excellent wig, please? Tell me.
Not excellent at all. No. It's really quite like disturbing to look at. The Charlie wig.
Seeing your own stunt double for like a rugby tackle is
So
pretty.
I'm just sat
Yeah.
with a coat and my coffee.
Yeah, he's there like, you go. It's really not. Yeah.
I believe in you. Just listening to Adele.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Not
It's been a
just for the
pleasure.
show, but just, good time. Thank you.
Yeah.